I'm Carla Reeves, and this is Differently. Whether you feel stuck in survival, navigating a change, or seeking more for your life, may this podcast be your weekly nudge to take a risk to build a life that is uniquely bold, authentic, and in alignment with your deepest values. What if you worried less about the bumps in the road and instead got equipped for the journey? Get ready to rethink what's possible. I'm so excited to spend this time with you. And for those of you who are new to the podcast, thank you for checking it out. For those of you who have been around for a while, thank you for being here, for listening, and for coming back week after week. Today is a really important episode for me to share with you. Last week's episode was titled Being the Entrepreneur of Your Life. It's episode number 73. If you haven't listened, I think it would be amazing to pause and go back and listen to that episode because it really is kind of a setup to what we're going to talk about today, which is being the entrepreneur of your life, which is about being innovative, meaning doing things differently or doing things that have never been done before. That's what an entrepreneur does. And that's what an innovator does. There's someone who has embraced this idea about really creating and tapping into their own innate creativity to challenge the status quo, to push boundaries and achieve growth. And my invitation to you is, what if you took these qualities of a great entrepreneur and really applied them to being that in your everyday life? Over the past decade of my life, actually the past 2 decades of my life and my life with Quentin and our life together, we have been experimenting, practicing, and applying these principles of entrepreneurship in our everyday life, our marriage, our family, the way we're raising our boys, and the way I've built a business. And we have this commitment to continually create what works. It has provided for a very different experience of life, and one that I just have a passion and a purpose to share with others. And it's very contrary to the way that I lived for many years of my life, which was feeling at the mercy of my circumstances, feeling powerless and going through the motions. And maybe you can relate to that. This approach of being an entrepreneur in your life has truly allowed for a much different experience of this life. And it doesn't mean that life has been perfect by any means, but we have taken an active part in influencing, shaping, and choosing the way we show up to what is happening. And that has allowed for more aliveness, more joy, more peace, more fulfillment, and a commitment to creating around every corner to align with what's in our hearts to be and do in this time that we're here on this earth. And today's episode is really a culmination of the work that I get to do now and have been doing for years with amazing clients and individuals all over the country and even outside of the country, teaching people to approach life as entrepreneurs, innovating in the little nooks and crannies to shape a life that feels like their own, that embodies their innermost values and aligns with their biggest dreams. I shared last week how we have realized that this is an approach to life, similar to how an entrepreneur approaches business. And I'm excited to share with you today that we have landed on a concept that we've created that really embodies it all. And we want to share this with you and have you join us on this journey and bring to life something that we've been really living and teaching for years. It is called life-preneurship. It's about being a life-preneur. So what is a life-preneur? Life-preneurship is a way of thinking about life, a way of doing life, and a mindset and philosophy for living. So a lifepreneur approaches life like a great entrepreneur approaches business. Lifepreneurs take the risk to create and live life boldly, authentically, and in alignment with their values. According to the Oxford Languages Dictionary, an entrepreneur is defined as a person who organizes and operates a business or businesses, taking on greater than normal financial risk in order to do so and reaping the rewards. A life-preneur is a person who organizes, operates, and assumes the risk of intentionally creating the moments of their life. It's a way of living that is not determined by your circumstances, but by your willingness to show up, innovate, and adapt to the moments you find yourself. Just as an entrepreneur invests capital and takes that risk and invents solutions to problems in order to grow revenue and create impact and build a business, a lifepreneur invests energy and time to be innovative and relentless in solving and overcoming everyday problems and challenges for the sake of building a life, a marriage, a family, a career, or whatever it is for you that is out of the box, a little extraordinary, unique, and a reflection of your deepest values. Every week, I have the opportunity of talking and walking with my clients through the moments in their lives where they get to be a lifepreneur, where circumstances in their life might feel fixed and frustrating, where they feel powerless. And what we do is get in there and unpack their thinking and stir their thinking, challenge their mind, and look from different angles, approaching the situation like an entrepreneur, where they can create breakthroughs and open doors and see and approach things in a new and different way. And they come back to report new and different, far more fulfilling, exciting, and inspiring outcomes. And I want to give you a sense of what that looks like. Well, I have a breakthrough coaching program that really lays the foundation for you to be a lifepreneur in your own life. There are themes and situations that inevitably have come up over and over and over again over the years because they are the things that we face in our everyday lives. Whether it's a lingering pressure around this idea that we should be fulfilling this greater purpose, or a communication issue in your marriage, or an upset with your teen and you're feeling like you suck as a mom, a challenge in your work, a hiccup in your confidence, or a breakdown of frustration because things are just not moving as fast as you would like them to. When I approach these conversations with a client, my intention is to listen deeply, to help them unpack their thinking from their head, really challenge the places where we can challenge, where there may be outdated ideas or beliefs or mindsets, and help them to pull out the pieces where they actually have control to shift or shape the outcome to make sure that it aligns with what they really, really want in their life. And so let's look at a few of those. If we look at this idea of pressure around purpose, there's often clients show up with feeling this inadequacy that they should be doing something bigger or better. And because they're not organizing a cancer walk or solving world hunger, they feel inadequate. And in those moments, it's really about helping the client innovate and tap into and extract what purpose means for them and their life, as opposed to feeling this pressure that it should look like what somebody else is doing. And out of those conversations, I've had clients really land on their unique and different purpose for their everyday life. And sometimes that's not solving some huge world problem, but it's just simply a way that they choose to show up and something they bring to every interaction in their everyday life. When we look at a missed communication or upset with a spouse or a friend where something's gone awry, lifepreneurship is about disarming the upset, unpacking the emotion so that you can step back and take ownership for the parts that are yours to own and really invent a new approach or a way of creating resolution that aligns with the bigger goal that you have for that relationship, who you want to be, and how you want to show up to each and every one of your relationships. If it's an upset that you've had with your teen or child, lifepreneurship is about resisting the urge to react and have regret later. Life-preneurship is about taking the time to, again, sort of disarm the upset and figure out what your larger goal is in this picture so that you can show up and be the parent that you want to be without being driven by your emotion and reactions. And this creates a very different outcome for you and the relationship you have with your child. If it's a work situation, I often see clients show up really excited. Maybe they have a new job opportunity and they're so excited about this opportunity and inspired and eager to get started. And then maybe a week later, I talk to them and suddenly they're sinking in doubt and fear of what if I don't show up and perform the way that they're expecting me to? And they feel powerless and resigned and are preparing to avoid what they don't want. Life-preneurship in these moments is about equipping my clients with the tools of focus. So shifting their focus from what they don't want to what they do want. In this moment of starting a new job, they want to show up and they want to be a leader. They want to collaborate. They want to create connection with people and be able to share their ideas. And so I remind them of that vision they have and then equip them to align their thinking and their actions to that vision so that they can show up in the way that they want to and increase the likelihood of their ideal outcome actually happening. In situations of just feeling frustrated in life because things are not progressing or moving in the direction that you want them to. And an example I often see with this is someone who's waiting and hoping to have the time to do the things that really matter to them. Life-preneurship is about digging deep inside to understand why you continue to set aside your own goals and your own needs for your well-being and your life for the sake of always saying yes or pleasing others. And life-preneurship in this moment looks like equipping the client with the ability and permission to set really healthy boundaries so that they can start to guard their time and energy to make time for the things that are the largest rocks and the biggest priorities in their life. And the impact of this is quite extraordinary. Another moment that I've often found myself helping a client innovate inside of is just having a hiccup in confidence. And it might look like you're preparing to get married or change your living arrangement. And while you were so excited in the beginning, all of a sudden your mind has gotten you focused on everything that could go wrong and all the things that you fear. And in this moment, innovation and life-preneurship looks like getting really deeply connected to that vision that you set out to, collecting evidence for all the reasons why you were in the perfect moment and ready to build this into your life, and aligning all of your thinking and your behaviors and your actions to this vision so that you can continue to take those small steps that will bring this vision to life for you. Life-preneurship is a different approach and a wake-up call, an invitation to get off the sidelines of your life and onto the court. This is especially for those of you who've been feeling like you've been going through the motions, working so hard and pouring so much energy into everything you do, but not making the traction that you desire. This is for those of you who know in your heart that there's a different way of doing life that doesn't involve going through the motions and waking up to what feels like Groundhog Day every day. This truly is a philosophy and a roadmap to taking ownership for the things that are within you and your ability to create a more well-rounded, fulfilling life. If this resonates with you and you want to learn how to be a lifepreneur in your own life, I invite you to take action. Set up a call with me. I would love to meet you and help you see what this could mean for you and your life. I've been guiding clients through this for years. I have a roadmap and a path to walk you through becoming a lifepreneur, that everyday innovator. and get ready for a rich, creative adventure that can take place each and every day. It's work, yes, but the best kind of work. Like an entrepreneur, you and your loved ones will reap all the rewards of the heart and hard work that you put into building a life that is a little extraordinary. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Differently. It's been an honor to share this conversation with you. You know, one of the keys to living fully is to take action when you're inspired to do so. I hope you found that spark of inspiration today. And would you help us spread the word? Did someone you know come to mind while you were listening? If this episode could impact someone you know, please share it and pass it along. New episodes drop weekly, so tap that subscribe button and join us next time as we continue to challenge the status quo and get equipped to live life differently.